Listen up, man. Ain't no introductions needed for this one. You read the title, right? Because today we're going to be talking about what 5 years of semen retention and celibacy has done to me. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. Today, we're going to be talking about what 5 whole motherfucking years on the practice of semen retention and the path of spiritual celibacy has done to me mentally, physically, and spiritually. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the hell is this guy even talking about? Has he lost his goddamn mind? 5 years of semen retention, 5 years of celibacy. Is he lying? Is that impossible? Well, relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand before we break this down is that by no means is this some sort of flex. I'm not coming up on here within your screen to tell you, oh man, look at me, 5 years of semen retention, 5 years of celibacy, I'm superior than you. This is not a competition. This is not all about how many days you can go on a streak. This practice is an ancient discipline that has been used by all the ancient esoteric spiritual traditions all throughout human history to shift mankind's consciousness. That's it. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's not some type of challenge. It's not some type of fad like no fap, no nut November, no fap November. It's none of that bullshit. Celibacy and semen retention is a tool for mankind to transcend. Let that marinate in your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche, my guy. Because again, by no means this is a flex. I'm here dropping y'all some game for your motherfucking brain to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell you to look at me. Follow my steps. I'm your role model now because I've attained 5 years of semen retention and celibacy. Matter of fact, I really do not care about the numbers, but I do know September, the beginning of September is when I first started my journey. First started this path of semen retention celibacy. So let's bring it back all the way to there to give you a background before we get into the understanding, better yet, the understanding of how this has shifted my mind, body, and soul to a completely different level throughout these past 5 years. You see, when I first heard about semen retention, probably like most of you guys, it was through YouTube. Unfortunately, there was no motherfucker out there like your boy, the philosopher, breaking it down like a brick. They were actually going into the depths of the ancient disciplines of this practice, the ancient teachings of this practice. I got sucked in and warped into the surface level of what semen retention was about. Just like most of you guys. Oh man, if you don't bust a nut, you become better looking. If you don't bust a nut, all the girls will look at you. If you don't bust a nut, you get a glow. If you don't bust a nut, you become strong. All these types of things, which none of them are bad, but it minimizes what this practice can truly offer you. It minimizes and limits semen retention to the surface level of reality. It does not allow you to understand the deeper nature of how this is a spiritual practice first and foremost. So I got into all of that stuff. And at this time, I'm out there trying to chase girls. I'm still watching pornography, all these different types of things. And I'm like, hey man, I'm kind of sick and tired of doing this, so I'm gonna give this shit a shot. I thought it was some nonsense, to be honest, at first. I was skeptical, like most of you guys. But I gave it a shot, I gave it an honest shot. And this video was saying, especially at the 90-day mark, you fucking become Super Saiyan. I was like, okay, let me go check this out. 90 days? I can do 90 days. Went into it, 90 days, and I'm seeing these shifts. 30 days in, 60 days in, 90 days in, and the surface level shifts. What do I mean by that? You know, your energy increases. You feel more vital. You feel more quote unquote confident. But in reality, it's boldness. You feel more grounded, but also more angry, more volatile, more violent, because I had no idea that you have to actually transmute and sublimate this energy. No one was talking about the yogic practices. Nobody was breaking it down like that. So I hit the 90-day mark and I was like, hey man, I feel good. Why do I need to go back right now? Of course, at the time, I was still stuck rooted in survival, sex, and status. I'm not saying I've completely ascended beyond those lower level chakras, but I'm aware of that now. Because my journey of semen retention coincided with a spiritual awakening. So as I got on the spiritual path, I naturally used semen retention as a tool to propel me. I didn't know I was on the spiritual path yet. I was doing the same, surface level self-improvement shit that you see most people do. I wasn't getting into the deep essence of sadhana, the deep journey of self-mastery that I do know about now. But I knew semen retention was giving me fuel for higher pursuits. Still struggling, with urges and this and that. And I thought, oh man, you have to battle your urges. You have to do this. Like all the garbage that most people spew out to you when it comes to semen retention content. I was listening to it until I started discovering some books that brought me back to the ancient disciplines of this practice. I'm talking about the practice of brahmacharya. I'm talking about the coiled serpent. I'm talking about the conquest of the serpent, the bliss of the celibate. I started running into these books that would dive even deeper into the nature of this practice. Then I started to realize, oh damn, this shit might be legit. Because at this point I was at that flatline phase. And what is the flatline phase? A lot of people talk about it, a lot of people speak about it, but a lot of people don't know what it is. It is when your internal system, your chakras in a sense, starts to shift. You're not comfortable being up in the higher chakras yet. Your consciousness is not. What do I mean by chakras? I'm talking about planes of consciousness. I'm not talking about random balls that are floating around in your body. I'm talking about planes of consciousness. You, me, everybody that you see has been programmed to be stuck in their lower states of consciousness. Survival, sex, status. The Muladhara, the Svadhisthana, and the Manipura chakra. That's what you view life about. Survive. If you can survive, go achieve sex or any pleasure in those sensual pursuits. And if you got that, go achieve status. That is what the Matrix manufactures your mind to pursue all the fucking time. And especially in today's day and age, which is called Kali Yuga within the yogic traditions, because time is cyclical in their worldview. The cycle that we're in right now is called Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, your consciousness, the natural default state, is to be at the lowest point possible. It doesn't mean it's an evil time, it's not a bad time, but you're starting, what you are connecting your reality to is the brain and body. You believe that all you are is the brain and body. You are born into blood, if that makes sense. You are born into your blood form, your material form. There is no recollection of you having a soul, having an intellect, having a psyche. You have a brain and you have a body, but that's it, the surface level. You believe more into science. You're more skeptical. You have lost touch with the spiritual life. That is Kali Yuga. So we're living in Kali Yuga right now. So you add on top of that you're already born into the blood, and then the Matrix tries to keep you in there. All that you think you are is just a brain and body. So when you do these practices of renunciation to go beyond the brain and body, like semen retention and celibacy, you will hit a flat line phase. as your consciousness starts to evolve beyond that. It takes time. It might not take 6 months. It might take a fucking year. Because you have been so programmed and conditioned to consume survival, sex, and status. So when you are renouncing from it, that's why you have urges. You're just used to it. You're addicted to it. That's your drug. You're a junkie. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to my younger self right now, who is going through that flatline phase, because you might be going through it. You're a fucking junkie, my boy. But you are right now going through rehab. And you're going to get those withdrawals, and eventually you're going to break through. And when you break through, usually around the 1 year mark, this is when I was like, okay, man, there's something to this. There's something more to this. I'm reading these books and I'm feeling it within myself. I am shifting my consciousness. I didn't know the exact terminology, the exact science behind it like I do now, but I'm feeling it. So I wanted to go research more and more and more about it. And the more I learned about it, the more I was like, dude, this is something that of course they don't want you to know. Of course the Matrix, of course the Maya, of course the illusion, of course society as a whole wants to keep you stuck as a slave to your senses. Whether it be through food, whether it be through alcohol, whether it be through sex, drugs, pornography, mindless entertainment, because they can make you and mold you into a mere cog of their machine. I started to see that. Not only through semen retention, but of course my spiritual practices that I started to develop coinciding with semen retention and sexual continence. Because semen retention at the end of the day is reclaiming back the most potent force of prana that you have access to internally. What do I mean by prana? I'm talking about power, motherfucker. Your sexual energy is power. It is powerful enough to create another human being. It's the only reason you're here, I'm here. The only reason everything else is here. It is a cosmic force of creative energy. When you keep depleting that, you lose what I like to call your spiritual electricity. This electricity goes and charges up certain planes of consciousness for you. The higher you go up on the consciousness scale, or the higher you go up on the spine, when we're talking about the chakras, the more voltage you need. The more energy you need. When you are depleting yourself of the most powerful form of that energy that you can use to activate and illuminate higher aspects of your psyche, higher aspects of your soul, you can only subjugate yourself to certain planes of consciousness because you just don't have enough power to turn on the other ones. If your phone or laptop is running out of battery, it can't run all the apps that you want. If your phone is on like 2%, you can only really call somebody. It's just gonna shut off. So when you deplete your sexual energy, that is the second chakra, the second light bulb, all you have energy to do is feed into your first chakra, survival. So all you do in life, for most people, is survive, chase pleasures. Survive, chase pleasures. And if you make it past pleasures, you just chase status. You've had enough sex, you've had enough sensual pleasures, now you just want status. You want people to recognize you. You get cars, clothes, this and that. Those are the three things that you are stuck on the hamster wheel on. Your consciousness is stuck. And especially when you release your seed on such a compulsive manner. What do I mean by compulsive? You are not choosing to release your seed. Let's be honest. You get urges, and you're a slave to your urges. You're a slave to your senses. And this energy, those urges, is just energy wanting to be expressed. But you only know one way to express it. In the sensual manner, in the second chakra, in the svadhisthana. So you're a slave to that, even though you don't want to consciously. When nature calls, you gotta fucking bend down and kiss the ring. You're a slave to your own brain and body. And the Matrix, the material world, designs you in that manner and manufactures your mind into that manner. You see, your brain and body were supposed to be tools to help transcend your spirit. The whole practice of Tantra, of yoga, is to use your brain and body because, again, remember, you are born into the brain and body. That is your default state of consciousness. So if that's your default state of consciousness, you got to learn how to use it to get to other states of consciousness. But of course, it's the complete opposite in the modern day world that we live in. They ensnare and enslave you to your own brain and body. They make you a slave to it. When you practice semen retention, it's taking back that power finally, that prana, the highest voltage. Now when you have the highest voltage, you got to learn how to actually use it. That's where the practices come into place. Your pranayama, your meditation, your yoga, your creative outlets. What are you going to create this energy with? Or what are you going to use this energy for? It's creative energy. It's meant to create, reproduce. But it doesn't have to just reproduce kids. It can reproduce ideas, innovations, insights. This is called psychic reproduction, not just physical reproduction through the sexual act. That's why I don't even like calling it sexual energy. It's cosmic energy. It's creative energy. But now when you finally retain it and you start to direct it towards higher aspects, it starts to feed and nourish your higher faculties. Those light bulbs that were never getting any electricity finally turn on, such as your Manipura chakra, such as your heart chakra, such as your throat chakra, your ajna, and eventually the crown chakra, the sahasrara. You start to feed these higher planes of consciousness, and then your world starts to shift. Because a lot of people talk about affirmations, manifestations, fucking woo-woo, wah-wah shit. If you really want to alter your reality, what you need to do is alter your state of consciousness. The teachings of the East have broken down into a science how to alter your state of consciousness. You know, when you smoke weed, you take psychedelics, you are altering your state of consciousness. You're ingesting a substance to do that. What if I told you that you can do that yourself through specific practices? However, in order for you to do those specific practices to alter your state of consciousness, you need enough prana. You need enough power. And the highest voltage of energy that you have access to as a man is your sexual energy. You now have the power. Now you add into the practices, and now you are shifting your perspective of life because you are altering your state of consciousness. You are going up and down the spine however way that you want because you have enough prana to do so. Why do you think all the yogis, the sages, the guys that were going all the way up and down the spine, all the way up and down the chakras, all the way up and down the different planes of consciousness talk about semen retention, talk about celibacy? Because they know that this is the fucking fuel to do that. If you don't have the fuel, you're going to remain stuck in your lower planes of consciousness. And those lower planes are not bad. Survival, sex, and status is not bad. It's not evil. I'm not here to tell you that you have to become a celibate for life in order to be spiritual. You have to do semen retention for 1,000,000 years to become spiritual. No, you just want to have the ability to pick and choose what plane of consciousness that you want to sit in for this circumstance. If you don't want to indulge in sexual pursuits, then you don't have to. If you don't want to indulge in survival, then you don't have to. If you don't want to indulge in this, indulge in that, you don't have to. Because you're not composed to it. You have taken back the control. That's what semen retention does. Nobody, I'm telling you right now, is going to break it down like that. And I'm not saying, look at me, that I'm breaking it down. I'm telling you that these are the ancient teachings from the true awakened masters. And I'm just making more applicable and practical for y'all to understand. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? This is what it has done to me after 5 years. And I feel like every single year I'm on this journey, I'm starting to understand more and more of it. Some of you guys may have watched my 4-year update, my 3-year update. I didn't do 2, I didn't do 1 on this channel because this channel wasn't here at that time, but some of you guys have watched the progression of my path. Semen retention is a small part of it, but has a big, powerful effect. However, you see the path in itself start to unfold for you. I understand, better yet, I understand what this is doing. You are, at the end of the day, on a spiritual life, especially on the journey that we're all on. If you watch my content, you're on this specific journey, and it's called self-mastery. Let that sink into your psyche, motherfucker. Self-mastery, not self-help, not self-improvement. That's for fucking losers. Because you don't even know the self. You don't even know who you truly are. You must unlock the higher planes of consciousness. Step by step, you cannot skip them. You must go up the ladder, Jacob's ladder, to realize the self at the top of this mountain. And the mountain that we are walking up is called the mountain of self-mastery. And it is reflected, metaphorically speaking, on your spine, because that is where the chakras or the planes of consciousness reside. And if you don't believe in that, it's where your nervous system resides. Your chakras is literally your nervous system. The higher up you climb, the more prana you'll need, because shit gets sketchy. You start to release attachments to the lower planes in order to discover who you truly are beyond the brain and body. You can reach these points, again, and alter your state of consciousness through substances like psychedelics, but guess what? You will never be able to sit at the top of that mountain and stabilize yourself in that plane. This is where the journey of self-mastery comes. And your fuel for the whole process is sexual energy. That is the generator to get you up this mountain. That is the energy that you are using to walk up each and every single step along the way. Because once this energy reaches the next plane and doesn't get stuck in the status plane, it starts to be purified into something that the yogis call as tapas. Fire, spiritual fire, that is generated through austerities, generated through acts of asceticism, of renunciation. What you are doing when you practice semen retention, you're renouncing that sexual compulsion. You're saying, nope, don't want to do it because I don't want to do it. You're just forcing me to do it. Instead of it pulling your hand and dragging you towards doing the deed, you're saying, fuck off, bro. I don't want to do that right now. Whenever I want to do it, I'll do it. You're not shunning sex. You're not shunning your sexual nature. But you're saying, hey, bro, for the time being, I want to get in control. You know, I always bring up this analogy. Imagine you got a dog. And trust me, I got 3 dogs. So I know how this is. When I first had my first dog, this motherfucker was crazy. Crazy. I would want to go to this park. And eventually, she's so untrained that I ended up on the other opposite side of town. Because this animal was walking me. I wasn't walking the dog was walking me. When you are stuck as a slave to your senses, you're not having sex. You're not the one masturbating. The sex is having you. Masturbation is masturbating you. I don't know what the fuck to say. You're not smoking the weed is smoking you. You're not drinking the alcohol is drinking you. You're a slave to it. Because whenever it wants to go, you just succumb. But when you practice renunciation, you take back the power, and it's like you training that dog. Hey man, sit the fuck down. We going over here because I said we're gonna go over here. But it's not a dog in this case, it's your senses. Self-mastery is learning how to tame the senses. Your sexual sense, in my opinion, is the most crazy dog, horse, animal that you have to control. Because if you can control that, that's like the leader of the pack. That's the head of the snake. You can control that, you can control most of your cravings, urges. And now when you have its energy and it's working for you, now the fun starts. This might take you a year, this might take you 2 years, this might take you 3 years, this might take you 3 weeks. There is no fucking one-size-fits-all solution to this journey, to the spiritual path as a whole. You know, if you grew up in a Christian household, a Jewish household, an Islamic household, yes, you believe that there's a one path for everybody because you've been fucking brainwashed by the Abrahamic fucking nonsensical propaganda that has caused so many people to lose connection to the mystical aspect and nature of reality. You see, the mystical path, what I'm talking about, that is having a direct connection to the divine by going up your own path. We're all walking up the same mountain of self-mastery at the end of the day, but you might start off on this side of the mountain, I might start on this side of the mountain, I might take this path, you might take that path. At the end of the day, we're still all meeting at the same pinnacle. The pinnacle, which is I like to call the road to self-realization, realizing who you are beyond the brain and body. However, within each and every single one of these paths, it might take a little bit longer, it might take a little bit shorter. You're still using the same universal principles that we call self-mastery on the right-hand path of ascending yoga. And if you want to go deeper into understanding what this is, it's called Dakshinachara. All this stuff that I talk about here on this channel, over on the main channel, man, if you don't know about the main channel yet, my boy, you are missing the fuck out. Because over here on the second channel, aka the Philosopher Files, we do all of our content like this. Raw, unscripted, uncut, unedited, just straight up speaking off the dome. But over on the main channel, that's when we got our highly produced content, edited, clean cut, cinematic. So it's a different experience. We're still talking about the whole journey of uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery, talking about the same different types of topics, but it's just the other side of the coin. So again, raw, uncut talks is what we do over here on the Philosopher Files. But if you want to tap in to another side of this same science of self-mastery, get a cinematic experience, that's what we got over on the main channel, The Philosopher. And you can check out the main channel by clicking the link posted in the description box down below. You'll see it right there. Click that, subscribe, get up on some motherfucking games so you ain't out here looking like a motherfucking lame. You dig what I'm saying? Run it up, my boy, because underneath also that link to the main channel in the description box is a link to my Instagram. So if you ever want to talk about these different types of topics, chop it up about these different types of concepts, my DMs are always open. Do not be shy. Shoot your boy a message and let's just talk. Let's just talk and chop it up. So again, all that good stuff posted in the description box down below, main channel and Instagram. Make sure you go run it up. But again, the stuff that we talk about over here on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, over on the private Patreon community. Matter of fact, let's take a quick pause right there because I got to give a quick shout out to the fucking private Patreon community, man. Come on now, bro. Most people have already clicked off this video. This is gonna be a long video. I'm just rambling off the dome. Most people have already clicked off. Most people don't give a fuck about learning about the deeper essence of semen retention. Just because I haven't told them that you're gonna get girls, girlfriend, manifestations, and glow, they're like, I'm not interested. They don't want to understand the deeper shifts, the spiritual shifts. But you, yes, you motherfucker, you're still here. And that's for a reason. I know I'm entertaining. I know I look good, but you did not just waste 30 minutes of your life listening to me yap out here in the field and in the flesh just because of that. No, you resonate with the message because most likely you're a true spiritual aspirant. You're a true spiritual savage. You're about this life of self-mastery. Everything that is involved with it, not just semen retention, the entire path towards discovering who you are beyond the brain and body and unlocking your divine potential through first reclaiming your divine power. You're about that life or you would have clicked off. So if I'm talking to a real spiritual savage right now, I'm gonna need you to just pause whatever you're doing and find the closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in the bathroom. I don't care if it's in your car window. I don't care if it's in the motherfucking selfie camera of your phone. I'm gonna need you to take a good, hard look in that mirror. Come on now. I'll wait. Really let that image of the man that's staring right into your eyes, that's staring right into your soul when you look into that mirror, marinate into your mind and sink into your psyche. Get a nice, good mental picture, your nice click, clack, Kodak moment, and let it really analyze within your consciousness. Because I need you, yes, you, to understand, better yet, understand that you're doing him, the guy that's staring right into your eyes, right into your soul when you look into that mirror, not me, that motherfucker, a huge disfavor if you have not joined up into the private Patreon community yet, if you're someone who's truly about this life, towards unlocking your path towards divine bliss. Because if you enjoy what we cooking up over here on this channel and over on the main channel, man, your mind is going to be blown with the in-depth knowledge that we got over on the private Patreon community, because we are truly uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery to a degree that you've never seen, my boy. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find on this channel, the main channel, matter of fact, anywhere else on the internet. Because it's some real deal game, real deal sauce for your motherfucking brain to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? So not only do you get access to a treasure trove of all these exclusive archives, but also access to our full guides, in-depth occult lectures, our digital libraries, and most importantly, an invitation to the Philosopher's Circle. Yes, sir, you heard me right, the Philosopher's Circle, our private inner circle community where we host a group chat as well as our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, so you heard me right, bi-weekly mastermind live calls where you hop in a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery, who are gonna hold you accountable to the journey, who want to see you elevate, and most importantly, want to see you elevate and liberate. I might have said elevate twice. Liberate on this spiritual path. If you want to be surrounded with other people that are walking up the same mountain of self-mastery as you, this is the place for you, my guy. Because you've already heard the saying before, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. That's a fact. That's 100% fact. No cap in that rap, my boy. So if you're hanging around with people that are stuck as slaves to the lower senses, you're going to be the 6th one. If you want to be around spiritual savages, real devoted aspirants, who are actually aiming towards using all these tools that we break down over here, over on the main channel, over on the private Patreon community, to unlock their power to open up their true potential through the process of dissolving their karmas in order to discover their dharma, aka their destiny, aka who and what they truly are, what they were really brought here to do, aside from just stimulating the senses. If you're on that path, you got to be surrounded with people that are going to hold you accountable to it. Because this is not, by no means, an easy journey. So if you want to tap in with a real brotherhood about that life, man, I'm telling you, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, my guy. I can 100% guarantee you that, assure you that. But if you need any more information and clarification about the Philosopher's Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment of this video, not the description box. Again, that's where you'll find the main channel, aka the Philosopher, and my Instagram. I'm talking about the page, the pinned comment down below. Click that, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can join as a member of the inner circle within the private Patreon community, as well as check out all the other services I provide, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. If you're someone who's truly serious about this path of self-mastery and is looking to work with me one-on-one, mano-y-mano, to help you dissolve, disintegrate, and detox from all these degenerate habits that are causing you to remain stuck as a slave to your senses and drowning in this sea of karma. If you're ready to dissolve those karmas in order to discover your dharma, again, what does dharma mean? Your destiny, what you were destined to do in this life, what's going to bring you the most fulfillment. This is what this coaching program is all about, using and crafting, systemizing a personalized approach to this esoteric science of self-mastery, specifically for you to get up to those higher planes of consciousness, because that is where your dharma resides. That is where you will remember who you are, what it is you were brought here to do, because nobody knows your dharma but you. Nobody can tell you your dharma but you. Nobody can tell you what your version of success is in life. I don't know your dharma, and this coaching program is not about me telling you what your dharma is. But what I do know for damn sure is how to dissolve your karmas. Because if you do that, you're naturally gonna discover that Dharma, discover what's natural to you. You're gonna find out the path that fulfills you the most in life and truly satisfy your soul. I always bring up this analogy. The Dharma is like the sun. The sun is always out. Doesn't matter if it's cloudy, rainy, or snowing. You might not be able to see it, but it's still there. That's your true self. That's your true potential. That's your true nature. However, you need the power to first clean up all those clouds, remove the snow, remove the rain. But we're not removing the weather. We're removing karmas in this case. That's the clouds that we need to remove in order to discover that Dharma, see the sun shining once again. So if you about that life again, man, and you're really ready to take your life to the next level within this coaching program, shoot me an application and we'll see if you're qualified for the criteria of this coaching program. But if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy, discuss anything that you're dealing with to help you get back on the right track, again, we got consultation calls for you right there as well. So again, all that good stuff posted in the pinned comment of this video. Click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and you can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But like I was saying, all the stuff that we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, over on the private Patreon community especially, and especially within my coaching program, is the principles of Dakshinachara, ascending yoga, the right-hand path of self-mastery. Semen retention is a big part of that. And that is, again, the power that you generate within yourself. Now, when you have the power, where do you put it towards? That's when semen retention and celibacy really starts. Because if you're always just repressing your sexual energy, you miss the plot. You miss the plot, you miss the message, you miss the point of this whole practice. It does not matter how many days you have not touched your fucking cock, how many days you have not played with your penis, how many days you have not stroked your schlong. That is not the point. Get that out of your head. The whole point is to shift your consciousness. However, in order for you to shift your consciousness, again, you need that power, but you need a purpose to keep you in that plane of consciousness. That is what you will see when you practice retention truly for what it is. You will unlock that path, that purpose, that you have a burning passion for. I have a burning passion for uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery and helping to guide other men along that mountain. I have a passion for it. I would have already quit this YouTube channel if that was the case. I don't get 1 million views. I don't get 100,000 views. I've had videos hit almost 1 million over on the main channel, but I don't generate that all the time. And matter of fact, I don't give a fuck if I do that all the time. I am devoted to this divine blueprint laid down by the dharmic sages of the past that gives mankind the understanding of how to live a life that is truly fulfilling to his soul. I am devoted, passionate, with a burning passion to help revive this ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge. That's my dharma. That's my destiny for the time being. I feel it within my goddamn nuts, because my nuts are full. I feel it. Everything I say and talk about over here is not something I just randomly imagine. It has been said and done by those dharmic nations, those dharmic teachings of the past. Not in a religious sense, but in a dharmic sense. This was the natural code of life and it has been lost, but they wrote it for us. They broke it down for us like a brick to keep that blueprint for times like this. And I am devoted to uncovering what that is in order to make it more applicable and practical for the modern man to apply it into his life. Because I wish somebody was doing that. If nobody was doing that, that means I got to do it. There is something like that for you that you will uncover along this journey of self-mastery when you give yourself enough power through semen retention, enough prana through celibacy. It might be music. It might be art. It might be becoming a doctor. It might be some type of business. That is your dharma. That is what you are naturally drawn here to do. You have a natural burning passion for it. And most men have no connection to that. They have passion, but it's for all the lower level pleasures, survival, sex, status, because all they think they are is just the brain and body. They're passionate about, hooking up with this girl, passionate about getting these cars, passionate about getting these clothes, passionate about banging these hoes. But where's your spiritual passion? Cut off, disconnected, cucked. Because you are drowning in karmas. You cannot activate your higher levels of consciousness because you don't have the power, you don't have the fucking electricity to do it. And what happens when you do that? You become a fucking slave to this system. Living a life so unfulfilling that you are dependent on external dopamine to just feel alive. Drugs, alcohol, Netflix, mindless entertainment. You're addicted to that because if you took that away, you would want to kill yourself. You would want to die because you are not living in alignment to your dharma. You were not brought here to live this fucking conveyor belt life that everybody tells you to do. You have your own path. However, you are too scared to not only uncover it, but you're too addicted to the things that are covering it. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? The karmas that you accumulate are simply just covering up what you really are yearning for, what your soul needs to be satisfied. Oh shit. Is the wing about to push this down? Let me do the force. Then we're good. And from incarnation to incarnation, because let's be honest, man, if you made it this far into the video, you know that you are not just the brain and body. I don't know how you know, but you know. Comment down below how you know. Psychedelics, this, that. You know that this is just a vehicle for the time being. And there's something deeper. And this is just the clothes that you put on. You've been wearing clothes to clothes and clothes and clothes. And the clothes that you wear, the specific clothes, aka the body that you get, the brain that you get, is associated with the karmas that you're still holding on to. So you go from this wheel of reincarnation over and over and over and over, looking for a way out of this cycle for true satisfaction. So where you're on your deathbed, you can be fully blissed out and leave the body if you want to. Not be subjugated to another body. You've been searching for that from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. Because you have not realized the self. That's what we're trying to do along this mountain of going up this mountain of self-mastery, to realize the self. I'm not doing semen retention just to fucking say, hey man, I do semen retention, bro. I don't give a fuck about how many days I'm on. I want to realize the self. And I know that this prana that I'm accumulating through this practice is helping to propel me up the spine and unlocking different planes of consciousness, unlocking different chakras. I feel it, I know it, I can sense the shift. And some of you guys also sense the shift. This is what this practice is about, bro. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Don't let anybody. And I'm not trying to be dogmatic. Oh man, listen to me only. No, this is what it's about. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's like, it just is. It's not a concept. It's not a theory. It just is. You will have a direct experience with that realization if you're about this life. Again, it might not have to be after 5 years. It could be 5 months. I'm not here to tell you how many years to go on. Don't follow me. I'm not your role model. I'm going up the same mountain with you. I might be taking a different path, but I'm telling you, hey bro, if you use this shit, you're gonna fucking hit the nitric oxide and go up this faster. I'm figuring it out, and I'm breaking down what I'm figuring it out. Don't follow me, blaze your own path, because if you follow me, you're gonna follow my dharma. This ain't your dharma. Stay in your own motherfucking lane, my boy. Not in a egotistical sense, but in a sense of, hey man, you were brought here for a specific reason, specific purpose that nobody else can do. Nobody. It's a specific note that you're supposed to play in this cosmic symphony. It's a specific, action that you're supposed to do within the collective consciousness of humanity. It's going to fulfill you the most because that's what you're naturally meant to do, but also it's going to help uplift the spiritual awareness of our entire society. When you are dharmically aligned, that is what happens. In order to, again, discover that dharma, you need to dissolve those karmas. And one of the biggest chains and cords of karma that our consciousness is stuck in is sexual karma. This is why pornography is free, promiscuity is so pushed upon us. Because they know it's a fucking addictive ass drug. You will look at somebody on the street, shooting up heroin and be like, fuck, bro, that's a junkie. This dude fucking is just a tweaker. But you won't say to yourself when you're wanking into pixels on the screen, or a guy just going out there chasing girl after girl after girl, you're like, oh man, he's a player, he's a top G, oh man, everybody jacks off. No, you a junkie. Not everybody has to do that. You've just been tricked. You've been fooled. Your natural state is to, quote unquote, retain, like animals. Animals even know that. They have mating seasons and they're built off of instinct. They're not whacking it all the time. We've even gone below the animal. And if that was all you were brought here to do, bro, survival, sex, and status, you would have came here as an animal. You, out of the 4 million fucking sperm cells in your dad's nutsack, made it through. You. And that's for a specific reason. If you were supposed to just survive, have sex, status, you would have came here as an animal. You were brought here for a specific role, and you need to realize that role. However, in order for you to realize that role, you must first recognize and reclaim back your power. Semen retention is reclaiming back one of the most potent forces of power, your prana, your sexual prana that you have. Now, when you got the power, you got the sword, now you can start cutting more and more karma. And as you cut off more and more karma, you just keep going up the spine when it comes to this process of conscious evolution. And some of you guys might be wondering, okay, man, when does it stop? You're on 5 years, bro. You crazy. I don't know how many years I'm going. I know right now I'm not done. I know I'm still on the mountain. I don't know where exactly on the mountain, but I'm still on the mountain. And I still need more power. Matter of fact, I need more power than I ever did before when I go into the next year, whatever it is. Because now it gets sketchy. Now the wind starts blowing. Now I'm high up, elevated, consciously speaking. And it's more subtle. I need that power with me. And it's not something, oh man, how many fucking days you have not busted a nut and you have more power. It's not that, bro. It's hard to explain. It's something you must feel. But your baseline of mental clarity, physical vitality, spiritual vigor shifts when you're on this practice. And I've noticed the longer you go on it, the more it shifts. But you still need to add on other practices on top of that. If you just retain your CD, that's not going to happen. Matter of fact, you're not even going to make it to a long streak of quotations, because I don't even like the idea of streaks, this and that. But you won't even make it to that point if you're not doing specific practices. You're going to pop like a balloon because all the energy is going to repress in your lower centers, your sex center, and eventually there's like a balloon that pops. You fill up a water balloon too much, it's going to pop. That water balloon is your nutsack. You need to take that water and rise it up from the nutsack. You're picking up what I'm putting down, so you need those practices. That's why I still do these practices. That's why I broke down all these practices within the Art of Retention ebook, man. If you don't know about the ebook yet, man, you are missing the fuck out. You're missing out on, the main channel, the Patreon, the coaching program, consultations, now the fucking ebook. What the hell is wrong with you? A full ebook breaking down everything you need to succeed on this path. For the free $99. Yes, sir, you heard me right. For the free skis. No cost. Just grab it. Go and grab yourself a copy today. Right now, go on the main channel. Matter of fact, just go on the YouTube search bar, type in how to succeed on semen retention. You'll find a full guide, full video guide right there for you. tap that. Boom, you have it right there in front of you. The full video guide that goes in depth and in detail to all the things that you need. It's over on the main channel. Again, The Philosopher. That's how you'll know that is the guide that's coming from me. And right there, you'll find a link to grabbing yourself a free copy of the Art of Retention ebook today, which goes even more in depth and more in detail to all the tools you need than even the video itself. But look, if you're dyslexic, you're retarded, you got ADHD, you can't read, your boy's got you covered with a full audio series of the Art of Retention ebook over on, again, the main channel. Description box down below, click that, go in the playlist section, right there you'll see it. Art of Retention audio series. Pop it in while you're driving, while you're walking, while you're working, while you're doing whatever. And get up on some game so you can elevate on every single plane using this practice. But if you need even more guidance, you're trying to go even more in depth, you're someone that's more advanced on this path, that's what we got the Patreon for. All those exclusive videos are advanced. That's what we got the coaching program for if you're trying to work with me one-on-one to help you ascend. Again, pin comment down below, click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page and you can tap in with the Philosopher Circle, hop into our next mastermind, tap in with all the content over there, or you can apply for the coaching program, see if you meet the qualifications to really take things up to the next level. But again, you have no excuse on, oh man, I really do want to see and reclaim back my power and unlock my potential, my divine potential, discover that Dharma. You don't have an excuse. I didn't have any of these. I had to go into the ancient texts, eat one by one by one by one, and discover this. This is condensed for you within this brand that we call the Philosopher. There's free content over here on the main channel. There's a free ebook. We got higher level advanced content in my private community, coaching programs, consultations. There is no excuse. Because look, man, this is damn near an hour long. If you made it this far into the video, there is a specific reason. It's not because of me. Focus on the message, forget about the messenger. What I'm saying has already been said and done. You resonate with the message. I'm just the medium for you to pick up what the fuck is being put down by the dharmic teachers of the past. I'm just the medium. I might be the only way that you can get this information, the way I break it down. Doesn't mean that that it's not out there for other people, but this is because you resonate with it. And I always say that the people that watch this channel in specific, the second channel, The Philosopher Files, we're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? Just straight up speaking off the dome, no cuts and no edits. You guys are in the 1% of the population that is not suffering from brain rot. You can watch a video for this long with no cuts, no edits, and you add on top of that the density of these different types of topics that's going over most people's heads. But for you, why can you grasp it? It's for a reason. You are ready to realize the self. This is the incarnation for you to actually taste spiritual liberation. But you cannot waste it on degradation, on degeneration, by remaining stuck as a slave to your senses. Because it's one thing to know what I'm saying, to understand, which is all mental, but it's another thing to understand what I'm saying. That knowledge turns into gnosis through understanding. That's up in the mind, this is in the heart. And that transmission is done through first-hand experience. You must practice retention the right way possible to fucking realize what I'm saying. Or all this is just theories, and you're like, wow, that sounds cool, bro. It shouldn't sound cool. It should be like, this is happening to me too. But most people will never realize that there is a mountain to climb. And very few of those people that realize there even is will actually make the climb. God damn, bro, how fucking loud do you need your motorcycle to be? But look, the people who are watching this video realize that there's a mountain to climb. Very few of you guys will actually walk up that mountain. But those few will understand what I'm saying. This is what 5 years of semen retention and celibacy has done to me personally. And hopefully you got some good knowledge, some good game dropped in your motherfucking brain from watching this video. You probably see me next year coming with the 6th year. Because I personally, there is no set thing, but I definitely want to hit the 12-year mark. If you know about the 12-year mark of brahmacharya, you know what I'm talking about. Some of the sages like Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Sivananda, real brahmacharis talked about this specific 12-year mark. 12-year mark of unbroken celibacy. For them, it was brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is celibacy in word, thought, and deed. I'm not living in an ashram. I'm not living in a secluded society. I'm out here in the modern day world just like you as a man. So I don't have that level of brahmacharya to me, but celibacy, sexual celibacy, spiritual celibacy is the path that I'm on. So if some of you guys have been wondering, has he done, has he edged? Has he done tantra? Has he done, no, pure celibacy. And I plan to do pure celibacy for that 12-year mark. I want to see what these motherfuckers are talking about. Because if you've seen some quotes from like Ramakrishna, go look it up right now. It's funny enough, all these quotes are in the end of my Art of Retention ebook. A whole excerpt, whole fucking chapter about these quotes. Not just about the 12 years, but about the ancient teachings of retention, celibacy. But he specifically states, a man practicing unbroken brahmacharya for 12 years attains a special power. He grows a new inner nerve called the nerve of memory. In the yoga traditions, this is called the metta nadi. I got a whole video coming out from my main channel about this topic. You probably watched this before that drops, so definitely subscribe, turn on notifications, all that shit for that video. That's gonna be a banger. The metta nadi, the nerve of memory. I'm not talking about your IQ gets better. You start to recognize and realize all your past lives. You start to get information and knowledge and gnosis from all those incarnations about who you truly are, what your dharma is. And it's a whole process of how it's activated. Again, I'm gonna be breaking down all of that on a main channel video with the cinematic edits, storytelling, all that stuff. So definitely tune into that. But I wanna see if that's fucking legit. I genuinely wanna see it. So I might be the only person in the modern day world to do that. Again, there's something special about me. Maybe this is just my dharma. So for the people asking, oh man, 6 years, 7 years, I want to hit that. And we'll see where the dharma pulls me. But that's something I do want to experience. 12-year mark. And if you didn't know, I just turned 26 recently. Come back 5 years. What age did I start this journey? 21 years old. Add 12 to 21. 33. If you know about the occult symbolism of 33, the 33 vertebrae of the spine that you were sending up, the 33 years of Christ, the 33 deities in the Vedic pantheon. There's something special about 33, bro. So if I hit that 12-year mark, it's when I am 33. So that sounds too cool not to fucking do it, man. Come on. Do you agree? Do I sound crazy? Am I fucking whacked out now? Have I lost my shit? Should I go fucking release my seed so I can come back down to reality? Or am I on to something? Let me know. Let me know. So for people that are wondering about that, I know people have DM'd me, asked me about this in my community and so forth. That's a possible, potential pinpoint right there. 12 years. Marking my ascent up that mountain of self-mastery. Again, using the prana and power of semen retention and my sexual energy to propel me up to that point. But that was the 5-year update. Hopefully I'll tune in. Y'all tune in for the 6 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe I'm doing number 12 at the top of Mount Kailash. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'll let you know in a little bit. But it's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? I'm out of here. Peace.